Hi guys, hopefully my camera, phone stays still. It's kind of propped up on a pillow and a picture frame right now, which is kind of funny. I don't have anything to lean my phone against, but anyway, that's the problem I have when I don't use my iPad in my iPad case, but it's not too bad of a problem. So this week I'm going to be using the it's flying on me. Daily guidance from your angels cards. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's been really intense energies lately, obviously. I'm sure you guys have felt it. I listened to Doreen Virtue's reading this week, and it sounds like there's a lot of self-care stuff going on, which is really great. And that's kind of what I'm feeling as well, taking time for you and not feeling bad about it. And I also had a conversation with one of my girlfriends today about this as well, and really being able to set boundaries and not feel guilty about taking time for yourself. So we'll see what comes up for this week. I'm going to focus here and ask for some guidance for everyone that's going to be watching, whether you're watching now or at a later time. Either way, it's all perfect. Oh, and there's an additional card that wants to come out as well. Okay, here we go. For the beginning of this week, we have Ask. This is all about asking your higher self for guidance, and Doreen mentioned this as well this week. This is kind of interesting. Asking your higher self for any kind of guidance, asking your angels, asking your guides, asking, again, as I always say, whatever you're comfortable asking or calling upon, a light, an energy, calling on source, spirit, God, angels, whatever you feel comfortable with. Basically, this is just a reminder that we have free will, and there's always abundance, and there's always help, and there's always love that's trying to come to us and help us and assist us along our journey. But a lot of times we block ourselves, and I feel like I've been doing this lately as well, really just getting in my own way. And there may also be people, physical people in, the world around you that want to assist you and help you. And again, we often block ourselves in many ways. For instance, we may just want to give out and give out and give out and help other people. And I have been through this, so speaking from personal experience, I can often drain myself and feel like I want people to help me, and I'm like, why isn't anyone helping me? Why isn't anyone helping me? Yet I have a guard up a lot of the times, and I don't even allow people to help me or ask for people to help me, or if someone even offers, I probably reject it without even being consciously aware of it. So it's something to pay attention to and see where you're blocking yourself. I think we all block ourselves sometimes, so that's okay. So don't get too hard on yourself about that. But definitely just put out the intention and ask for any kind of guidance. Trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be, of course. But if there's something that you want an answer to, or you just want to feel some more security in some way, whether it's about your job or any kind of relationship, or just about how to take better care of yourself, ask for signs, and they will be shown to you. For the middle of the week, we have Wedding. This is all about commitment, self-commitment. Basically, when this card comes up, it of course mentions your future wedding if you haven't been married or something like that. It can basically stand for a piece of hope. And if you already are married, it could symbolize something within your marriage. But I definitely think that this week, this is really, really getting to the point I can't even speak. This is the point of this week, as I said as soon as I started the video. It's about taking better care of yourself, committing to yourself, seeing where you're lacking. But, we're never really lacking in truth, right? As I said, we're always protected, provided for, we're always abundant. We always have resources, we always have love and light around us. But it's our job to ask and to, commit to ourselves and take that responsibility for ourselves, which again, I can relate to, and it's definitely time for me to make a greater commitment to myself. And that's what I've realized over this weekend is, yes, it's great to have help from people, the help that I would accept from people, which probably isn't very much, but sometimes I do accept some sort of support from people. But that support can't be the only thing fueling you with your dreams, or even supporting you I don't know, in all ways. We need to be able to support ourselves and believe in ourselves. And if you strip away all of the support and all the love that's given to you from other human beings, it's important to still be able to hold your own and to be able to connect to love. And love meaning source, energy, spirit. Love with a capital L, universal love, the love that you are, the love that exists within everyone and that is around us. Because that's what love is. It's not just about romanticizing what love is or what we think love is, or trying to have this perfect relationship romantically or having the perfect friendships. I actually watched an amazing thing on Oprah yesterday on Super Soul Sunday, and there was a wonderful lady on there, and I can't remember her name right now, but she essentially was talking about marriages and stuff like this, and it's the same kind of message. You can't really become happy with a marriage that's in your mind. And there's a lot of times where we think, well, getting married will make me happy. And it's just not the case, because we have to be able to take care of ourselves and commit to ourselves first. And it's not even about just getting to that point. That's not my point either. It's not about getting to a point where you can take care of yourself and then you throw yourself out to the world and into all these relationships or into a marriage, and then you forget about all your self-care. Self-care is something that is supposed to be eternal, and it's supposed to last, and it does last. Love is eternal, and it basically is a lifelong process in this life and forever after, to be able to take care of ourselves. So commitment to yourself. See where you're doing well and maybe where you're not doing so well. I did this yesterday as well, so I can definitely relate to everything that's coming up this week. I made a list of what I want more of and what I want less of, and I want to get kind of a new diet, if you will, on track. And not even a diet, but just a new eating plan. And I want to create basically a new lifestyle of waking up and doing a meditation or doing yoga and having a better practice instead of jumping to social media and jumping into my work day right away. So I'm human too, and I definitely am not perfect by any means. I'm perfectly imperfect, like we all are. But as I always say, don't be afraid to look at the things that bother you or the things that aren't going so well and aren't quite up to par for your standards, because we have to be able to look at those things in order to create something new and something positive, right? In order to create change, we have to be able to look at what needs changing, essentially. And for the weekend, we have law of attraction. So this definitely goes with this as well. Focusing on the positive after you make these lists of what you want more of and what you want less of. I mentioned this last week as well. It can be kind of overwhelming when you sit down and look at all the things that you have to work on, or all the things that you want to change for yourself or have to change, and blah blah blah. So after you confront this and make a list and look at all the things that you'd like to change in your physical space, internally, focus on writing some positive affirmations and affirming what you do have, affirming that you are abundant, that you are loved, that you are love, period. I think this is a really important practice. And again, paying attention to our thoughts that we have every day. That's where everything stems from, essentially. And the only way you can change these patterns that you've had and that I've had for so many years is really by changing the script that we write for ourselves. It's really not about what other people think about us. It's really not about whether they believe in us, whether they think we can live our dreams or not, whether they think this, whether they think that, whether they think we're successful, whether they think we're financially well or stable or abundant. It's not about that. It becomes about what you are believing. And oftentimes we get triggered by other people, and we can feel like, whatever they say is true because, not because they said it necessarily, but sometimes it comes to a place within us where that is our belief system. And that's why it gets us so down sometimes when someone really says something that ticks you off or that really makes you feel crappy, is because it often is coming up for your attention to remind you that, hey, this is within me. I have this belief system within me that's no longer serving me. And it's not about whether I think that this person or that person believes this about me. what matters is, okay, thank you for this gift. Thank you for mirroring this to me. Send gratitude to them. I find this comes up a lot with family, personally. But it could come up with friends or colleagues or with anyone, really. And once you see this and recognize it, awareness is key. It's the first step. And after that, it's not about being down on yourself or getting mad at these people who are bringing these things up for you. You know, this is here to help you. Ask for help from your higher self, from Source, from Spirit, from God, from the angels, from whoever you want to ask help from. And put out the intention that you can change what you want to change, what you need to change in your life. And basically, once you become aware of these belief systems, you have to kind of allow them to come up and feel them and feel some crappy emotions sometimes and be able to release it and let it go. And again, it's a practice that never ends, and that's just gonna, last throughout this whole lifetime, is giving and receiving and letting go and shedding layers of, I heard this and I like this terminology and this idea and concept of peeling layers of an onion, and that's basically what we do. We may have certain wounds in our lives or certain problems or, weaknesses, if you will. And that's all of our human perception, by the way. These things are perfectly divinely guided for us to have and things we plan to have in this life. But anyway, essentially, time goes by and a certain issue can come up again, and it comes up for a reason. We're peeling another layer off of it. And then time will go by and then something else will trigger you and it'll bring up all these past emotions. And you're like, I thought I dealt with this. I thought I forgave all these people. I thought I forgave myself. And it's not that you didn't. It's just there's so many layers that we have to just keep unraveling, that we will continue to unravel for the rest of our life and lives. The additional message is trustworthy guidance. So trust that the guidance that comes to you, that gives me chills, is real and very valid. So at the beginning of this week, we're reminded to ask for help. And help definitely is always wanting to come to you, and stay open to that and try your best to stay open to that and trust what comes to you. Trust your intuitive feelings. And there's no right or wrong here. I feel like I have to say this, even though it sounds really silly. I feel really guided to say this. Basically, we all receive guidance in different ways. And so if you find that you want to sit down and have basically a voice come to you in your head, it doesn't necessarily have to happen for you in that way. Sometimes we feel like that is the only way to receive guidance or to be aware of our higher self or to be psychic or to be intuitive, is to receive messages in a certain way. So be aware of that and be willing to release that. And ask for signs. Your angels, all of your guides, any universal love energy knows how to connect to you, knows how to give you messages that you will understand, that you will be able to interpret. There's no right or wrong way here. And trust the guidance that comes to you. Trust that, things will come to you in the right way. It may come to you in terms of thoughts. You may be inspired to start a new project. You may bump into someone that you haven't seen in years. You may have a conversation with a stranger and they may say the perfect things to you. All these things are guidance for you. There's guidance for you always. That's just all around us, which is so fantastic. And it's just about, asking for more signs and being aware of everything